Three legends that carved the giant that's now known as Shonen Jump today. Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach all had what you'd call an it factor that I know won't ever be replicated again in many years to come. That time when all those juggernauts were simultaneously doing numbers at the top level was special. It's crazy because some people will never know the feeling of watching all these shows weekly at the same time. Among the big three are such iconic villains who not only were able to stand toe to toe with the protagonists, but captivated so many fans with their complexity and depth. As these generational stories were told, it revealed more than just amazing fights. It revealed villains so unique, so compelling, that they became irreplaceable icons that could not be replicated. These icons in the realm of Shonen Jump have cemented their place at the top of the food chain among these new bloods. Today we delve into the essence of these legendary villains and see why they remain unmatched after they've left a mark on the landscape of anime and manga.
I will make this whole planet suffer!
This can't be happening!
I am the Prince of all Saiyans once again!
First, we will journey into the world of Naruto. Naruto alone just has so many top tier villains that it's hard for me to just talk about only one. Now, I've talked about the stuff that makes villains really pop out in my video about manga villains, which you should go check out by the way. But back to villains. Orochimaru, one of the best villains in anime, not only known for his amazing power and strength, but also his enigmatic nature, driven by a crazed thirst for more knowledge and power. He embodies the dark side of ambition, a mirror to Naruto's own road to ambition and self-discovery. Despite his malevolence, Orochimaru remains a figure of tragic complexity and mystery. His motivations have always been despicable, even his lab, which was heavily censored in the anime. But what this guy was doing was just weird. Hiruzen should have killed him when he had a chance, but he had too much love for his former student. To recreate someone like Orochimaru is a feat in and of itself. Some have tried, but many have failed, and still to this day it hasn't been done again. It can be seen in characters like Geto Suguru, aka Kenjaku, who is a master manipulator that plans very well and likes to put their hands in everything to do with their societal structure. For Orochimaru, it was ninjutsu, and for Kenjaku, it's the jujutsu world. But at the end of the day, it's just not the same. Orochimaru made his mark on us when he made himself known during the Chunin exams, when he sunk his fangs in Sasuke to capitalize on Sasuke's vengeance. And Kishimoto did not miss a step when introducing us to the tyrant that is Orochimaru. This guy had what the kids in TikTok today would call aura. These new day villains aren't like they used to be. I mean, just his presence alone was eerie, and the music added so much to it. Just a nice blend of rootlessness and mystique made for such an interesting villain. This time we barely knew anything about him except for his motivations, and that alone made him an A-tier villain, maybe even higher. He came and he conquered while giving us some of the best fights in the whole series. Him versus Sasuke and him versus the Third Hokage. The thing that makes villains truly great is when they accomplish what they set out to do. Orochimaru wanted to destroy the leaf, and guess what he did? He destroyed the leaf. Obviously not without cost, but he did so nonetheless. And then he put one of the greatest characters in motion, causing the best rivalry in shonen history. It's amazingly crafted characters like Orochimaru that prove to extend their legacy beyond the dimensions of an A1 or A2 page. Next, we journey to the seas of the world of One Piece, where every man is free away from the world government. But they won't be for long, as the truth seeps out bit by bit, their freedom gets taken away. When it comes to villains among the big three, I'm not gonna lie, One Piece does fall short. Although One Piece has good villains, but its greatest villain is Doflamingo, the heavenly demon. One Piece is a show that deals with complex topics that aren't black and white. Oda gave us one of the best villains in shonen. He is one of the most complex and compelling villains in One Piece. He was a major piece in the New World saga, being the reason for the joining of the Straw Hat crew and Law's crew. in order to take Doflamingo's drug ring down so they could get the attention of Kaido, the beast. They call him the Heavenly Demon, once of royal origins but sent back down to stay with the commoners with the rest of his family, hence the name the Heavenly Demon. They get into the villain that is Doflamingo, the Heavenly Demon. Let's talk about his backstory first to give you guys a bit of context. Doflamingo was born into the Don Quixote family, a family that came from the world nobles or celestial dragons, a group of royals among the One Piece world. These origins gave him a twisted view of power and privilege from birth, but his father was able to grow away from this thinking and taught to live as ordinary humans by leaving the life of luxury they once had. They were targeted and prosecuted by people who harbored resentment towards their celestial dragons, and honestly, I don't blame them one bit. These celestial dragons are scum. These events would shape Doflamingo's outlook in the world. Doflamingo is a ruthless drug lord. He is charismatic as well as manipulative. One thing I like about some One Piece villains is the fact that they sometimes care about their subordinates. Doflamingo did manage to get a crew of subordinates to follow him, which he would later call his family. But yeah, that's the one thing I always liked about One Piece villains. Some of them, anyway. But this guy is still evil. I forgot to mention he killed his dad, then later killed his brother. There's no redemption for such a character. This guy took over a whole country, took some of the residents captive so they could run his drug business, and erased the memories of anyone that knew the people he used as workers. Because of this lady right here, stupid bitch. Anyways, she's a character that can turn people into toys, and once she turns those people into toys, the people that knew them will forget about them. How cruel is that? His defeat at the hands of Luffy was a significant turning point in the story. As they say, the these are against the gods, and the gods are the celestial dragons. So, a heavenly demon gets beaten by a quote-unquote demon from the sky to the ground. Very fitting for such a man. Anyways, next on the tally is going to be Aizen, another master manipulator, which reflects through his powers, as he has the ability for perfect hypnosis because of his Zanpakuto release. His genius isn't his only attribute. His brute strength and deception, also strong intellect. The way he planned his actions was so intricate and cunning. He was a lonely person, never being able to call someone else his equal. So he put one of the most devious plans in motion. Ichigo's whole life was his plan, which is crazy. He planned everything just so he could get an equal of some sort. Of course, that wasn't his whole plan because he also wanted to change the system of the universe in Bleach. He wanted to reach the Soul Palace, but it just never happened. He definitely would have got cleared though, although he would still keep evolving, so I don't know how that would work. Now, I bring up all these villains because we won't ever get villains as good as these again. When it comes to shonen, these big three villains were towering figures that etched their presence onto shonen, which helped shape it into what we know today. Orochimaru, Doflamingo, and Aizen, all villains that are paragons of complexity. To replicate them would be to fail. To me, when I think about such good villains, it begs the question, what villains in shonen of today can I put on the same level as these three I have talked about? Sukuna? No, he's not even interesting as a villain. The only characteristic Sukuna has as a villain is that he's strong, which is boring as hell. All for One from MHA? No. Not a bad villain, he's interesting, but no. There are no shonen villains of today that can hold a candle to the ones that came before, which is sad to say, but it's true. Well, at least for now. Even a villain like Sukuna isn't on the level of such an early villain like Orochimaru that I mentioned earlier, because what else is Sukuna other than the strongest? I never liked Sukuna, to be honest. I always thought he was boring. Even Frieza, who's basically the same thing as far as being one of the strongest, was way more interesting than Sukuna. And Chainsaw Man? I don't have much to say about that. It looks meh, but I'll probably watch it one day. I don't know. Anyways, a villain that is heavily underrated is Killer from MHA. This guy was the catalyst for the group to actually get a grip on reality, because they thought it was all fun and games, but he had to put them in check. This was something they needed. He was able to question the heroes, which made them think twice. So shout out to Killer. They could have kept him on longer, but I guess he served his purpose. Like I said, I don't think the new age shonen villains have a chance of ever comparing to the old ones, to the ones that came before. But if given enough time and effort, maybe they can actually become really interesting and complex, but maybe not anytime soon. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments below. Until next time, and peace.